don't make us who we are. So I'll dream until I make it real, and all I see is...
Hello, everybody. We're back again with episode number 4 with Mentorship Mondays, or maybe Tuesdays with Michelle and Maren. So as you all know, I'm going to give a little brief explanation before we start. The goal here is to have them Mentorship Mondays and to be able to upload our video on Monday night and keep the same premiere time, prime time for you to be able to watch the video. And last week we had some major technical difficulties. We both did with the video. And so sorry that it came up late, and that might happen from time to time. So if you do notice that a video has not come up when you're expecting it, when we have promised the video, know that we are doing everything we can behind the scenes to be able to upload that video. And as I've said many times before, I am a great medium, channeler, psychic. I love working with energy, but I am not really a techie genius. So please be patient. Anyway, so today we, Maren and I have already been talking a little bit, as we always do. And you know, it's funny because we start talking and we get into things, and then we're like, whoa, we need to be doing this. We need to be doing this. So thank you for the questions and everything. We are getting that. And we're going to actually talk about a little something that's cropped up that Maren is experiencing. And Maren, I'll let you talk, and then I'm going to take over and do a lot of the talking today. And Maren's going to tell you why.
Okay. So I started a new job on Monday, and kind of as my story goes, the reason why all of this happened is we moved to Indiana, and I decided I wouldn't work. And that's how I got into meditation and yoga, and that's kind of what started my spiritual awakening. And now my son's in kindergarten and I'm ready to go back to work. So he had his first day this week. I had my first day this week. Side note, a giant dragonfly flew into our house on the first day of school. And I was like, it's fine. So that was really cool. So like, because dragonflies are change, and like, when does a dragonfly fly into someone's house? But anyways, I got sick. And so I told Michelle I would still do the recording, but she's got to do most of the talking. And I'm like, I don't normally ever get sick. And I got sick my first week, and I was asking Michelle, like, do you think this has to do with psychic protection? Because I've never been around this. Well, I mean, since COVID, I haven't been around, and since my spiritual awakening, I haven't been around this many people. So there's like 10 of us in a room. And so Michelle asked, what are you doing for psychic protection? And unfortunately, not much. When I first started, I was like really good about it. And then I really wasn't around many people. So I didn't really do anything unless I was going to have a reading. And so now I really need to get into some kind of routine with going off to work and protecting, because I really feel like I picked up, like, even one day Josh was like, why are you so sad? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, I bet you anything, someone in that room is really sad. And I picked up on that. So, anyways, I need help.
It's amazing. And this is really like timely as well, because this is something that's come up in a lot of my sessions this week too. Just like people that have been feeling really low energetically, but on the other hand, they're ramping up their spiritual work, or there's been something that's changed. And so the first thing I'll say, so when Maren first started talking about this, so what we did is we did a quick check of her energy. So we went in and we looked into the chakras and looked into the alignment, and everything's all aligned. The only things that popped up were the throat chakra and the solar plexus. So it kind of aligned, she said, with like how she's feeling right now. And so two things that come with the solar plexus and the throat is expression, sometimes expression of emotions, in the solar plexus can be confidence, trust, especially when, something new is happening. It doesn't mean that it's all your stuff. It just means that's the easiest access point for some of this energy to come in. And what I was saying to Maren a couple minutes ago, which I'll repeat right now, is that um, we cannot understand what it is that we need unless we go through the opposite. So when we're, going through these periods of growth and to understand, well, why do I need protection, or why do I need this, or why do I need that? eh, the only way that we can really understand what's best for us and what it is that we require for our journey is by experiencing the things that we do not want to experience. So a lot of times we'll have people that talk about, well, this happened and this happened, and why did I have to go through that? Well, it's important that if something's happening, it's going to have great benefit to you going down the road, and that takes trust to do that. But anyway, let's talk about a couple things, Maren, that set up the scene for what you're experiencing. And you've already explained that one, you started really coming online, really opening up with your spiritual journey during COVID. So prior to that, the last time that you were really around a lot of people in small spaces or really intermingling with physical energy was before your spiritual awakening, before this point. So that's one thing to note. Now, the second thing is do we and are we affected by energy when we're not in the physical space with people? Yes, we are, because we're always communicating with energy by our thoughts. People can be thinking about you, sending thoughts about you. We can be watching things on television. This is why there's always so much conversation of, are you watching your energetic diet? What are you taking in energetically? What are you listening to? What are you spending time around? What are you reading? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Because all of those are ways that we're able to take in energy. And the more that we open up spiritually, the more we become sensitive to that, the more magnetizing that becomes, because we have an ability, like think of it as a light bulb inside of you. So the more that you're awakening, that light is just getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And that energy is like, it's like the flies to the what do they call them? Those lights, the zap lights that they have for bugs. It's like you're all of a sudden this bug light, and they're all like coming to you. So it is important to note that, yes, we are experiencing energy in so many different ways, and it does obviously not have to be physical. Because again, I use this example all the time. We can hear the radio, we can hear music. We know that energy transfers through radio waves, and we know that that's real. So obviously energy of all kinds can come through, and we're energy, so our thoughts, our feelings, emotions. Now, when Maren was working through her spiritual journey, and she has had a great shift, actually several big shifts since she's been working on herself. So prior to that being home, the sensitivity, it was still there, but that bug light has been getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And now the other thing is too, is so when you're doing readings, when you're communicating, when you're meditating, you're in more of a controlled environment. So you know what you're taking in. You're recognizing things, you're protecting your energy, like you said, before you do a reading or anything like that. So it's not affecting you quite the same. And so you do recognize when something creeps up that, like, okay, yeah, something's in my throat, something's here. I know that somebody's here. I know that something's here, but you're not intermingling with the emotions and the thoughts. And that's a really big thing when we are communicating with other people. They're bringing the conversation that they had with their spouse, or maybe they're bringing their worries with them, and as a healer as well, as a being very empathic that you are, and having that healing energy, you're also reaching out to people's energy and holding on to where those densities are to assist them. So it helps you recognize, oh, somebody here is like needs to express, somebody here has some discomfort. So we can actually use these things as a tool to be able to help people, but not in all environments is that going to be beneficial for us. And not in all environments are we going to want the chaos of it. And so it's important for us to be able to recognize the, we'll say, the organization of our energetic body. And so just like we need to shower and brush our teeth and eat well, we need to do the exact same thing with our energy body. And now the contradicting conversation here before I get into all of it is some people say, well, Michelle, I was told that I don't need to do all that stuff, that doing my energy and all of that, it's fluff. I don't really need to do it. And there's part of that that's right. And I don't mean that it's fluff, but that you don't always have to do the same work on your energy that maybe you will start at. So, for example, Maren, you were doing that before. And what you were doing before was getting you to a certain point. And then as you're comfortable, because your knowledge is matching what you're feeling energetically, so you're feeling comfortable and not feeling the need to do it. So now that things have shifted and you're in a different environment and things are changing, it's giving you this purpose, this need to do something to help your energy. So what I'm going to say is this: you don't have to do anything to protect yourself if you believe that you're protected, but to teach the subconscious and to teach our energy, because everything is consciousness within us. So to teach this, and remember, you are source, you are God with your own universe. And so you are the one that's saying, all right, everybody, we're all on the same page. So we're going to go out the door today and we're going to open up the shield and we're going to put this nice big barrier of protection. So we're going to vacuum all out anything that's there that we don't need. We're going to put this nice bit of protection on there. And as we go out today, the only thing that we would like to have in is if there's something we can really do to help somebody. If there's something that needs to come in for the purpose of the highest and best for myself and for others, then I'm okay with that, if that's what you want. If not, and when I say the vacuum and the shield, you do what's comfortable for you. If you want to do the white light, some people do a light switch. So some people say, okay, lights off. I'm open. Lights on. I've got my shield up, I've got my guard up, or I'm stepped in a box. Anybody else's negative emotions or anybody else's whatever you want to call it cannot touch me. What I say each day is I do the same thing every morning. I don't do it as a whole speech like I used to. I used to go through like the whole motions, but the more and more I would do it, the more you create a momentum of doing it. So your energy is taught. It collects the data. It knows. So I just use clear. I say clear and I say protect. And so I know that when I'm doing that, what I've already planted, the intentions I've already set out are exactly what happens. And I trust that because I've been doing it long enough that I know what the benefit is to doing it. And I know what it's like to stop doing it because I've done that too. So I've gone through those experiences of both. Now, what I will say is there may be environments that I go into, for example, for me, and remember, don't take everything that I'm saying as the gospel of how it is. Take it as guidance. Take it as guidance from experience, and then take what fits for you, adjust what you feel you need to for yourself, because doing all of this psychic protection, everything that we're doing on this journey, nobody is really going to know you better than you. And the information that you're getting is meant to help you build your own structure, but to put together what works best for you. But what was I saying now? Now it's gone right out my head.
Well,
What am I?
so that reminds me, you said say clear.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a couple things like, now it's going out of my head, but, I I one time heard someone say, you told me one time have the stoplight, the green and the red, so that, spirits know. So I kind of have that one. And then someone once told me there's like the bubble of white light. And then also someone said like a bubble of like mirrors, like surround
Yeah.
yourself in mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that one time because I can't go to concerts without like just really like I think I pick up everything. Like it's like I like have like a severe like hangover the next day, even if I didn't drink. Like it's
Yeah.
just like way too much input of everything.
Yeah.
And but then I did the mirrored thing and that really helped. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that helped more than a bubble of white light.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know.
No, and so there's a really good point. So I'm glad you said that because that's something that is like you get these different things and you may have to try a couple things
Yeah.
to see what works best. And if you don't believe this is going to work and you don't think that you need it, then fine. Then fine. If
Yeah.
if that's what you feel. But do know that if you're experiencing an abundance of energy and it's not feeling good and you're feeling sick and you're feeling drained, then there's something for you to work out, something for you to figure out because it's very real and it's very palpable and it does affect you. And now I know what I was going to say was when you're talking about going to the concerts, I had difficulty going into a funeral home. So I could walk into an empty funeral home and be fine with just a couple people. But going into a funeral, a visitation, or anything of that sort, from the time I was a child, I was absolutely overcome with anxiety and emotion. And so to the onlooker, like to my parents, it was I had difficulty um with the emotion of it. Like it was too emotional for me and it was. Um but what was really happening that I understand now is that my my own emotions are one thing, but the picking up on other people's emotions, that high, like grief and the sometimes shock, all of the different emotions that come forward when you're, at someone's passing, it would make me feel like I was unable to function and sometimes for days afterwards. So
Wow.
I would leave the funeral home, I'd be exhausted, I'd sleep. I felt like I was getting sick. Like I would go through a lot of different experiences, and it wasn't until I started to understand energy and then went to a funeral after I had been working with energy to recognize the difference. Because at that time I was protecting myself, I was working with my energy, I had it grounded and more under control. And what a difference. It was like walking into the same environment, but I was able to speak. Like when I tell you I couldn't go into a funeral home, like I couldn't even speak. I'd go up and see somebody that was standing, just to, give my condolences. I couldn't speak to them. I'd let out squeaks.
Oh my gosh, that happens to me all the time. I cannot go to church. Like, I do not like going to church because I always cry. And then when
Yeah.
they say, like, turn around and meet your neighbor, I'm like, what? I'm
Yeah.
there. Like, just like, I can't even say my name or like cries come out. Like, it's like so, I'm like,
Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, I can't tell you how many funerals I've gone to where I've gone up and I have to I'm standing in line, you're going to the receiving line. I'm standing in line and I'm like thinking in my head, okay, like, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm like trying to, like, I'm getting myself
right.
prepared. I get up to the front and I go, hi, how are you? Like, I'm like, really? How are you? I mean, that's not what I mean. I mean, and I was a mess all the time, but I'd squeak and then I'd cry. I'd just cry. And I'm proud to say that that has developed and that, I've now been able to go and really speak. And I'm a bit more grounded now, you know.
Okay. I
I'm
need
not
to do.
I'm not saying that it's always going to be that way, but I'm saying it's headed in that direction. So it's been a lot better. But it just goes to show you that that energy has such a strong a strong hold on us
Yeah.
when we're not really aware of it. So being aware of it and allowing yourself to work at it, and also giving yourself the opportunity to say, okay, this is something that, like anything, when I do this one day, it may not give me the results that I'm looking for. But how about I give myself 7 days? How about I give myself, so, for you, Maren, because you're already um, participating daily in your spiritual work, and you've done the act of protecting yourself, you've gone through that before. For you, I feel it's going to be fairly instant of you doing it, that you'll get the results of it right away.
So do you think I just need, like, when I used to open up my chakras, I would like envision opening up each one. And now I can just say chakras open.
Yeah,
And like I trust that they're open.
that's right.
Um, so you think I'm there where I can just say clear and
Yes,
it'll clear? Because
yes,
so in the middle of like one of my work days, I was like, I think that I'm picking up people's energy. I need to clear, but then I didn't want to like sit there and like clear my chakras. So I was kind of like imagining the bubble, and then I'm like, oh, I hope I've imagined the bubble enough. Hopefully there's not people stuck in the bubble with me, that like I kind of like
yeah,
overthought it,
yeah,
and then I don't think I did anything with it because I like there was too much thinking. I was like, people are
yeah,
trapped in here with me,
yeah,
and it's been too late in the day.
yeah. No,
So
you
okay.
and remember that a new start is every second. Our cells are shifting and changing every second of the day. So there's never a time where, like, yes, our energy is at a certain peak when we first wake up. Like, so there's a momentum that we build over the day. So if you're all of a sudden already feeling like a heaviness throughout the day, it might be a little bit harder to back that all up by the end of the day, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. And that's why I said for you, Maren, it's going to be a little bit different. So, like, and why I'm saying that to anyone who's listening is, if you're someone that is working with it and very aware of it every day, once you put that awareness to it, I just saw somebody walk out of the corner of my eye, like just, um, that was weird. Um, when, um, when you've been doing it every day, it's like it's a little easier because it's like, oh, right, have that awareness, but don't overthink it. And remember, everything is by thought and belief. So if I believe that I'm trapping people in here with me, I'm gonna be. If it makes you feel better to like press a button that says suck out everything that's not mine, then do that, right? Because everything really does go by our direction and intention, right?
Okay.
So this for you will give you a uh, fairly immediate reaction. I would do it at the same time that when you're doing your hair in the morning, when you're, before you leave the house, put it in as part of your routine and going out for the day, and just keep letting it build. It'll get to the point where there'll be days where you'll forget or you won't do it, but the momentum is built up so much that it won't affect you. It's when you start to go on for days. And so there's other things that affect our energy too, and that is um like our own energy. Like if we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, if we're putting judgment on ourselves, if we're like, all of those types of things can bend our own energy out of whack as well. So it's really important to be aware of all of that stuff too.
I'm sure that happened as well because I put a lot of pressure on myself because this is my first time going back to work in a while,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, I've got to do good. I've got to
yeah.
let them know. You know.
Well, it's a new environment, so I mean, so it's a little bit of everything. You've got your own energy, you've got other people's energy, you've got a brand new system that's working in a new way, in a totally new way altogether. So there's that's going on. And when we are going into new experiences, we go through changes in our the throat connected to the thyroid and to the immune system. And so everything that's going on is like shifting. So
Yeah.
you'll start to feel better. Like we did a clearing today. And what we did was we just did a quick clear and a rebalance, and we did a little protection around you. right now. And so you should start to feel better with some
I already
rest.
kind of do.
Yeah.
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 So I was gonna say too, so I was thinking about it, I was like, I need like a reminder at work to kind of like clear my energy. And so I was gonna bring my little amethyst tree into work, but then I was like, oh, but then what if they ask me about it? And then, I can't, I'm like not a fibber or a lie, like that would make me really uncomfortable. And then I would have to like get into the whole story of like who I am. And like, it's a little too early for that. So, but then you were like, do it when you're putting on makeup. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. I can put this in my bathroom.
Yeah.
And then every morning I'll remember,
That's right.
don't forget
I
to
have
do.
a little, this is what I have. Okay, so I have at my desk here this little, if I need it throughout the day, but it's called Essences of the Archangels. It's Archangel Raphael oil. Okay, so I'll just take a little bit of it and I'll just dab a little bit on the inside of my ears, and I put a little bit here, a little bit here, and this is a clearing and healing oil. And the scent
Oh,
of
I
it,
love it.
I love the scent of it. I put it in my my little oil, mister.
Okay, you're gonna have to link that into the description because I want to get that because
Yes.
I'm gonna be going to lots of different buildings and places. And so like when I get in and out of my car, I'm gonna wanna.
I'll have to find, I actually got it off of Amazon, so I'll have to check and see if it's still up there, but it's called New Archangel 100% natural essential oil, Archangel Raphael, health for me. And it comes in a little box that looks like that. And I've had it for just over a year, this particular one. But I don't know. It's
Well, I just love that too because even if it's like technically doesn't clear, the fact that you're saying I'm putting this on my body to clear.
yeah. Yeah.
So
And I love the scent.
and
I
you
love the
love
scent.
this.
Like the scent, it actually reminds me, we have a metaphysical shop here in town. And when I walk into that store, it just, like I could sit in that store all day. It just smells so good. And that's what it reminds me of, that store. So I dab that just to get that aroma going.
Okay.
Yeah, so it really helps. But so was there anything else that you thought or that you think that we should touch upon with this, or
Do
any other questions you have?
Well, I do have one more question. So I'm pretty sure that 3 loved ones have come to me from like my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
And like one specific situation where I had like a coworker was kind of having a family crisis panic moment, and like a male spirit came in and was like, I've got it. Just tell her I've got it. And like, remember how I said, like, when spirits come to me, they make me feel like I'm having like a muscle spasm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like so intense. Like I couldn't think about anything else that what was happening to it was my, male side leg. And it was just like, boom, boom, boom. And he was like, tell her I've got it. Tell her I've got it. Tell her, don't worry. And I'm like, I can't say anything. And so I'm like, and literally it went on and on and on. The whole time she was having her like moment was the whole time this guy was here saying like, I got it. Like just, so like, do you think that could be throat chakra, that I'm not like telling people what I'm seeing or who I am?
It's
Or,
expression, and so we'll go to the throat and to the stomach. So the two things that they brought forward today for me to mention was expression and trust. And so
mhm.
it's trusting that when that opportunity comes to me, is that it's safe for me to be able to say this. And then the next part of it is, can I let go of the outcome? Right?
Yeah.
Can I let go of how it's received? But the other thing is too, to remember that and you can reinvigorate this as well, is to say, if you're coming to me to say something, then it's going to be right,
Okay.
or else it wouldn't be coming, because you've made that agreement, right? And we
Okay.
talked a bit about that the last time, about we make the agreement of, if you're coming to me and you want to deliver a message, then make it easy for me to bring it up, make it
Okay.
easy for me, help me with those circumstances. And that's when I was saying, like, people would sit beside me and they'd be like opening up a book about the afterlife. Do you believe in the afterlife? Or they'd say something, right? It would always be something so like, oh my God, okay, I gotcha. So, and ask them to do that. Ask these souls to say, can you bring something up to help
Okay.
ease in that doorway? And when you make that agreement, if you do that, I will deliver the message.
Yeah. I think when it's like a stranger, it's like, if I walk away and the stranger thinks I'm crazy, like that's fine because I'm just, a
Yeah.
stranger. But for someone
Yes,
I work with, like,
I
I was
know.
really hoping it wouldn't be the first week.
Yeah. Well, and you're definitely there for a multitude of reasons. And one of them is that, it will come out and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with a lot of it, that it'll be just fine. And but do ask them to help make it easier for you.
Okay.
And whether that be something that they say, or to help give you like that green light, so that
Okay.
that's your moment to do it.
Okay.
And then the rest is just trust. The easy word with like the
Right.
so much to it, right? But no, it'll be okay. It'll be good.
Okay. So I am going to do I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. Am I just going to say clear or do the mirrors? And then I'm going to get some oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and just kind of work with it. You might find like a little pattern of how you like to do it, and make it so that it's easy. Make it easy on yourself. Don't make it so it feels like a task, because if you make it so that it feels like a task that you don't enjoy, or that it feels like, oh, I forgot this, and it puts pressure on you, then it's going to be something that it's going to feel like, if I don't do this, something's going to happen. Or you know make it easy. Use simple words. Work it into, like you said, have reminders. Work it into your schedule. And I do it in the shower, because I'm cleaning my body. Why wouldn't I clean my energy body at the same time?
Okay.
So I do it every morning in the shower.
Okay. I used to do and I still do, but when I'm making my coffee, I'll I ground myself when I'm making my coffee. So I put roots into the earth and I take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
But this week my husband was so nice and he would make me coffee while I
Oh,
was getting ready. So
okay.
I do that this week.
Yep.
So I'll have to
Yes.
do that.
And that's another thing too. That's another thing. And I'll leave it on this little note, is that when you're eating your food, when you're drinking your coffee, really slow down and like consciously, like as you're taking a bite into that food, the nutrients of all of that food is going in and cleaning and protecting and revitalizing, like everything that goes into your body. The water that you drink, envision it as light running through your body and clearing. And that's how, again, this is how we are able to direct things, how we're able to direct the energy, because we can really enhance the vibration of what we're consuming and what we're doing by putting that intention to it. And then it starts to, like anything, when you start to practice at something, it starts to become part of you. It starts to become part of your habits, to the point where you don't even really notice it. It's just so automatic. And that's the way your energy body will start to work. It automatically starts cleaning itself. It automatically starts protecting itself. So it becomes part of your whole system and how it runs. But we have to be the ones to make those conscious choices to practice it and put it into motion, because we're teaching. We're teaching our bodies, we're teaching ourselves, we're teaching our mind, we're teaching everything a totally different way than how we were originally taught from a child.
Okay. Do I need to do okay, so I've got my daily protection. Do I need to have a monthly? I am going to do a very big visualization or of
Um,
cleaning chakras or
I would do that when you feel it. I would do
okay.
that because I mean, some people do it daily or weekly. Um, I do it when I feel it. I tend to do it before I used to wait until I felt drained. But now I do it. It's almost like it pops in my head, probably from somewhere else, but pops in my head as, you should spend some time doing this. You should go
Okay.
and ground yourself. And so like this week, I've been going out and been in the garden, like even picking tomatoes and watering flowers. That's what I'm doing while I'm out there, is I'm doing that whole thing because I have not done that for quite a few days. And there's been a lot of healing work and stuff been going on this week. So, it's just like that. Okay, I need to do something like that. So kind of gauge how you feel.
Okay.
If you're feeling like you're running on empty each day, if you feel like you want to do it more often. So until you start to feel built up, and then you want to do it as a maintenance. So you think you change your oil like every so many kilometers. So you want to start paying attention to how you feel. When do I feel the most tired? And like everything plays a part. So it's not just one thing. So having like a big thing, you may not need it. You may not need it. You may not really feel that you need to do that, but you'll probably want to, because when we, whether it's a moon ritual, and I was just getting right now, that's the one time that I do it, is when
Isn't this the
we just had the
just at the full moon?
the 11th, we had the super moon in Aquarius, and I think we're still part of that energy too. So that would also be another reason why this is happening right now too, because there's an expansion of energy, and so you're having density rise to the top, and so it would be a reason why you felt it right now. So we just passed over that, and we're in that energy right now. So it's not too late. Today we're doing this today on the 13th. So if you're hearing this right now and it's Monday that we'll have this out, it's still not too late. You're still within an energy range to do it. So that's ways that we can take benefit to whatever the universal energies are.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you need to go rest. Go, right? Everybody tell Maren to feel better and go rest. And and guys, we are reading the name ideas, but keep them coming, because it's got to hit that right spot. It's got to hit that really special spot, because you guys are really special. So it's got to hit that special spot. And so thank you guys for being here once again. We really enjoy this. Maren and I are having a great time. And we will get through the technical stuff. So if you're watching this and it's later than Monday, and by the graces of all the spiritual assistance we can get, it'll be up on Monday. But if not, you'll know why. Anyway, I guess that's it for episode 4. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. Well, I'll be sleeping probably through it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do feel so much better after that clearing. So
good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hit stop, and Maren, you stay for a second. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.